Hi, Pin Group. Today we'll be doing More to Read 1, Text 74. This is on page 152. Here's a quick look at the vocabulary list that we will be going over first. Our first word is dawn. This means the first appearance of daylight in the morning. The cowboys are riding before dawn. So in this photo, we can see that the cowboys are riding before the sun rises at dawn. Our next word is endangered. Endangered shark species. These are animals at risk of extinction because of human activity, changes in climate, changes in predator-prey ratios, or other factors. The northern river shark is endangered. There are less than 250 sharks left in the world. This means that the northern river shark still exists, but there are very few of them left in the world. So they are endangered. Our next word is merely. This means simply, only as specified. He was merely a private person, private and unsociable. So this means that this man is a very private and unsociable person because his personality is like that. It's not a good thing, it's not a bad thing. It's simply or merely the way that he is. To preserve something is to keep it alive or in existence, to make it last. We must plant more trees in order to preserve the environment. We need to keep the environment healthy and stable in order for it to be a nice place to live. The prospect of doing something. This is an outlook for the future. So as you can see on the chart here, we have the year and the amount of this information. The prospect of growth in 2021 is lower than in 2018. So we are making a prediction, we're making a future guess. That is the prospect of something happening. To establish something is to install or settle in a position, place, business, sports center, school. It could be many things. We need to establish a large wildlife park for the animals in Africa. That means we need to create or build or make a large wildlife park for the animals because they need it. To estimate something. This is to form an approximate judgment or opinion regarding an amount, weight, the size of something. Now remember that with an estimation, in order to estimate something, you don't have to put in details. It's a round number. You're not sure exactly what this number will be. For example, you can estimate the cost of a university education. At the University of Utah, here we see the numbers for tuition and fees. The blue are for international students, and the orange is for local students. So these are just an estimation. We could see in 2022, in-state tuition fees is just over $10,000. And they estimate that international student tuitions and fees will be over $30,000. By accident. This is an undesirable or unfortunate happening that occurs unintentionally. This results in harm, injury, loss, or damage. An accident is not done on purpose. The truck had an accident on the highway. He didn't mean to do this. It just happened. Threatening, tending or intended to menace. This is when usually a person or an animal is mean or scares another person or animal into doing what they want. The robber threatened to shoot if she did not give him the money. So in this case, the robber is threatening the woman. If she does not give the money, she is scared that he will shoot her. Now let's take a look at these pictures and try and guess the topic of our more to read text today. The title is Saving the Ugly. I guess ugly is referring to the shark, and for some reason they're talking about saving these ugly creatures. For those of you who do not have the book, this is the full text. You can screenshot it, print it, whatever you have to do in order to use this to answer the questions. The following slides are screenshots of the questions from the book. Now, I would like you to read and complete all of the questions before we move on, because on the next section of slides, you will be receiving the answers with an explanation. So this is your chance to pause the video and do your work, please. Now, we're taking a look at the answers and the explanation of these answers. With A, what do the following refer to? In paragraph 2, number 1, they. So what we're doing here is we're trying to take a look at what they is referring to. So go to paragraph 2, and here is the section we are looking for. Backtrack. Backtrack, backtrack. Who are they referring to? Australia's fishermen. There's your clue right there. On number 2, paragraph 2, again, we have to find this section of do it. What are they talking about doing here? What are they talking about? Doing something. Now let's backtrack. Here we go. This is the activity. Freeing a great white what? Freeing a great white shark. All right. Moving on to 3, paragraph 3. They. What is they referring to? Now, again, we're going to backtrack and look for the clue over here. Here, they're talking about mesh nets. The mesh nets are taken away during the winter, not the sharks. Number 4, paragraph 4. It's beaches. Beaches where? Let's backtrack, try to find our clue over here. Sydney's beaches. You got it. Part B. Now here, they want you to find the words in the text that mean the following. They only want you to use one word on each line, and the form of the word cannot be changed. So B, with number 1, we're taking a look at paragraph 2, and we are looking for this verb, caught. So come on down to 2, 3, 4th sentence, entangled in beach nets. This has the same meaning as caught in beach nets. This is where it would be really helpful for you to use a thesaurus so that you can find other words that have similar or the same meanings as the vocabulary that has been given to you. B, number 2, make a great effort. For this one, we are looking at paragraph 3. And we are coming down to this word, struggle. Most sharks die as they struggle to break free from the nets. So you could actually say that most die as they make a great effort instead of the word struggle. B, number 3. Coming down to paragraph 4. Almost. So this will be in line 4. 2, 3, 4. Okay. So here we have some data. We have a number here. So we can substitute the word roughly and almost. Let's take a look at the sentence. The Australian government estimates that, roughly, 500 great white sharks are killed off the coast each year. You could say the government estimates that almost 500 great white sharks are killed. And part B, number 4, accidentally. This is also going to be in paragraph 4. And it should be kind of in the middle of the paragraph right here, inadvertently. Now your clue for this question is actually in the next sentence, right here. Sharks that are caught by accident, right? So you see that they are using this word, and then you can see a similar usage over here. So you can figure out that inadvertently can be used in place of accidentally. On section C, the true and false questions. With number 1, Australia is the first country to try to protect the sharks. In paragraph 2, you can see that Australia has joined California, Florida, Namibia, and South Africa in protecting sharks. So number 1 is false because Australia is not the first country. There are other countries who have already started this before Australia has. With C, number 2, some of Jim's colleagues aren't happy about the decision of the Australian government to release certain sharks. Now here, we are looking at this word colleague, but they're actually referring to Jim's son, James. Because they work together, they are colleagues. And James thinks that freeing of a great white is extremely dangerous. So he's not happy about it because he thinks it's dangerous. So number 2 would be true. Now we are on C, number 3. Shark police will be punished if a protected shark dies because of the net. Now our answer for this one is in paragraph 2, towards the end. Here we are. They are exempt from penalties if a protected shark is killed in a net. So here we can see that the answer for number 3 is false, because the people working on this are exempt. So they will not be punished if they kill a shark by mistake or by accident. Coming over to number 4, sharks are not only used in health and beauty products. This is true, and we can find the answer in paragraph 4. All right. Okay. So here, other shark parts are used. Here we find health and beauty products. They are used in health and beauty products. Backtrack. They are also using sharks to make fin soup, right? So these sharks are not only used for health and beauty products, but they are also used to make soup. Question 5. As a result of the shark attacks between 1990 and 1996, many people stopped feeling sympathy for the white shark. Our key word here is sympathy. In paragraph 4, we can find this word right here. Sympathy for the great white has grown. This means that it got bigger. There's more sympathy for this shark. So with number 5, our answer is false. Now on page 153, these are your answers. Let's just take a look at where these answers are in the text and how we have paraphrased them. With number 1, what does Jim Lum do? In paragraph 1, in the entire paragraph, you can see that he is a shark policeman. He protects swimmers on the beaches from the jaws of the sharks. And he also protects the sharks from humans. So the most simple answer here collectively would be he is a shark policeman. With number 2, what sharks are endangered species in Australia? Please take a look at paragraph 2, line 6. Here we see that the government has put the great whites and the less threatening gray nurse shark on its list of endangered species. They are referring to these specific species that are endangered in Australia. Number 3, how does Sydney try to make its beaches shark-proof? The answer for this question is in paragraph 4, line 2 and 3. So let's take a look at this sentence. Sydney became the first place in the world to try to make its beaches shark-proof, following a spate of attacks in the 1920s and 1930s. The mesh nets first appeared around the city's beaches in 1937. So here we see that they are using mesh nets or nets around their beaches, and they're also hiring people like Jim to make the beaches shark-proof. Now, I would like you to complete pages 154 and 155 before watching the next slides, because the next slides have the answers. This is the vocabulary practice section. This has been assigned on page 154. And these are your answers. You should have used a dictionary in order to find the answers. These are the answers for the vocabulary practice on page 154 and 155. These are one-word answers, and you are just expected to reuse the vocabulary in order to get these answers correct. Good luck, and thank you very much.